Claude 4.5 is an absolute monster. When it comes to coding, it's instantly impressive. If you're a programmer, this is literally the only choice you need as a coding assistant at this point. Today, we're gonna break down the highlights from Anthropic's official Claude 4.5 release report. And more importantly, we're gonna put it to the test in a real-world scenario to showcase how exactly differs between the version 4.5 and 4.0. I've seen a lot of test cases online, but many of them are just too simple, like building a to-do list. The thing is, Claude 4.0 can already handle those perfectly, so you don't really see a difference. So I'm gonna raise the bar here. Today, we're gonna build a complicated RPG game which will let us see how well the model can manipulate and manage the relationship between different components. This needs to be more than just a static website, because we want to build a system that can truly showcases its outstanding coding ability. So let's get into it. In terms of performance, in software engineering and coding, Claude 4.5 is in a league of its own, outperforming every other model out there, including GPT-5 and Gemini 2.5 Pro. As a programmer over the past week, I totally felt the same during my work, undoubtedly. I'm gonna share my personal experience more in the next video. It also shows a dominating advantage in other logic-demanding fields like finance, law, and medicine. In areas like visual reasoning, it's okay, but not quite excellent. But for anything requiring complex logic, it's the clear winner. They've also made significant strides in safety. The misalignment behavior score has been reduced by a massive 50% compared to Claude 4.0. This means the model is much more stable, safer, and has fewer hallucinations. Another key update is the SDK. What used to be the Claude Code SDK is now the Claude Agent SDK. This isn't just a name change. They're expanding the toolkit scope beyond just code to be used for a wide range of agentic tasks. And check this out. It gave a research preview of a feature called Imagine with Claude. This is mind-blowing. You can give it prompts and the system generates and adjusts an application's layout dynamically in real time. What you're seeing isn't pre-generated. It's being created and modified on the fly based on your inputs. It hints at a future where programs aren't just static data, but applications that responsively change and adapt to users' need. Absolutely insane. Alright, let's jump into our gaming test. So we tasked Claude 4.5 with generating a complete coding plan for a front-end RPG web game. We specified that it needed straightforward player controls, rich character growth content, and varied enemies. This requires a lot of different interconnected subsystems. As you can see from the coding plan it generated, we're talking about a complex structure with multiple components and system requirements. This is no simple Angry Birds clone. This is truly a complex system. We then fed this plan back to the model and prompted it to build the game. The first attempt had a few syntax errors, but when we simply instructed it to fix them, on the very next try, the web game worked perfectly. And this isn't just a bare-bone game. It involves complex systems like calculating damage, a loot system, character growth with experience and levels, equipable items, and stats that you can upgrade. This demonstrates how powerful this model is. It doesn't just understand a couple of functions, it understands how to manage an entire interconnected system. But what happened when we tried the exact same thing with Claude 4.0? We used the same prompt and it also produced a syntax error on the first try. The problem is, after several attempts to get it fixed the code, the error just remained. I eventually had to give up. Claude 4.5 fixed it on the second round, while Claude 4.0 couldn't even get it right by the, fourth round, which significantly pales in comparison to the new version. We even tried letting Claude 4.0 generate its own coding plan first, thinking it might prefer its own logic. This time, it did display a game, but it was completely uncontrollable. We tried to fix it, but the player control never worked. It just goes to show that for a task of such complexity, Claude 4.0 isn't quite good enough to handle it from end to end. Stay tuned for the next video where I'll be sharing my personal experience using Claude 4.5 with my actual programming practice on several IDEs. Hope you like this one, and make sure to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.